शुभं करुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः. I would request all the faculties and guests to please be present on the stage. Starting with the introduction of Accendo 2022. ये इवेंट पिछले 2 साल से ट्राई कर रहे थे बट ड्यू टू कोविड हम नहीं कर पाए. Also last year everything was done but then last moment we had to cancel. Also Pradyuman, I would like कि आप थोड़े शांत रहें. This is an event organized by students for the students. We have versatility of the topics and dynamism of communication. The theme of the Accendo this year is dynamism of communication. Meaning of Accendo is to lighten up and create a fire. For the students to enlighten themselves and create the fire of success within and around themselves. I would like to start this session from the insights of our guests.
So our first session for the day would be on crisis communication and crisis management. To talk about this topic, today we have with us Dr. Paresh Karya. Dr. Paresh Karya is the director. Yes. Dr. Paresh Karya is the director West of PAPL Corporation. He has been a forefront leader and involved in corporate leadership, training, coaching, and advising the companies and entrepreneurs in India and across South Asia. The topic he will be talking about: crisis communication and crisis management. Crisis communication is also the subspecialty of PR profession. Crisis management is application of strategies to deal with the crisis. The question we have in front of us today is how to build communication infrastructure for managing crisis is the question. Let us all welcome Dr. Paresh Karya with an applause and a memento presented by Dr. Shirish Kashkar. Before starting the session of Dr. Paresh Karya,
Please have a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. Before starting with the first session, I would like to invite Shri Pradeep Jain, sir, for a few words of the day.
अभी भी बहुत विद्यार्थी आने वाले हैं. आप सभी से विनती है कि पीछे जो बैठे वो आगे आ जाए. थोड़ा आगे आ जाओ. पीछे से भी थोड़ा आगे आ जाओ. यस. जल्दी से आ जाइए, जल्दी से.
अरे जल्दी बैठ जाओ, ये मेरी क्लास नहीं है, बैठ जल्दी बैठ जाओ।
आज के इस कार्यक्रम में मेरे साथ मंच पर विराजमान डॉक्टर परेश भाई, इंस्टीट्यूट के डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर काशीकर, शशिकांत भगत, कौशल भाई, लीला बहन। आज इस कार्यक्रम में निमंत्रण को मान देके पधारे हुए अलग अलग मीडिया इंस्टीट्यूट के विद्यार्थीगण, मीडिया जगत से आए हुए लोग, आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। एसेंडो यह नाम अब कम्युनिकेशन फील्ड में नया नहीं है। अभी जैसे शुरुआत में बताया गया कि एक साल को छोड़ के कोविड की स्थिति के कारण करीबन 2016 से यह कार्यक्रम नियमित रूप से होता है। हमारी शुरुआत से ही ऐसी सोच रही है कि विद्यार्थियों को पढ़ाई के लिए किताबी ज्ञान की आवश्यकता तो होती है, किंतु हमारा ज़्यादा जोर प्रैक्टिकल ज्ञान पे, प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज पे ज़्यादा हमारा ध्यान है। और उसी को ध्यान में रखते हुए वर्ष के दौरान हम अलग अलग प्रकार के कार्यक्रम करते हैं, किंतु पूरे वर्ष में एक बड़ा कार्यक्रम, जैसे आज ये एसेंडो के नाम से ये कार्यक्रम होने जा रहा है, ऐसा बड़ा कार्यक्रम हम करते हैं। ये कार्यक्रम की विशेषता ऐसी है कि ये पूरा कार्यक्रम विद्यार्थियों के द्वारा ही किया जाता है। जब मैं ये कहता हूं कि विद्यार्थियों के द्वारा किया जाता है, इसका मतलब ये है कि इस पूरे कार्यक्रम की थीम वो लोग ही तय करते हैं। इस कार्यक्रम के दौरान कौन से विषय रखना, उस विषय पे कौन बात करेगा, किसको बुलाना चाहिए, ये विषय भी वो लोग ही तय करते हैं। उससे आगे बढ़ के सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जो विद्यार्थियों की टीम रहती है, वो टीम ही इस पूरे कार्यक्रम के खर्च की भी चिंता करती है। जैसे स्पॉन्सर लाना, पार्टनर्स लाना, को पार्टनर्स लाना, सपोर्ट पार्टनर्स लाना। अब आपके मन में प्रश्न आएगा कि ये सब करने की वजह क्या है। हमने आत्मनिर्भर नाम सुना है, बहुत चर्चा में अभी देश भर में चल रहा है। तो मैं ऐसे कहूँगा कि आत्मनिर्भर की शुरुआत पढ़ाई के बाद होती है, स्टार्टअप के रूप में। हम इसी कार्यक्रम को पढ़ाई के दौरान विद्यार्थी, जैसे कोई अच्छी किताब में इंडेक्स का जितना महत्व होता है, वैसा ही स्टार्टअप शुरू करने से पहले विद्यार्थी अपने आप पे पैरों पे खड़े हो, ये हमारी कल्पना है, ये हमारा सोच है, ये हमारे विचार है। और इसलिए इस कार्यक्रम को हम हर साल करते हैं। ये करते वक्त जब स्पीकर को भी मिलना होता है तो स्टूडेंट ही जाते हैं, अपॉइंटमेंट भी वही लेते हैं, और उनसे क्या बात करनी वो लोग ही तय करते हैं। गलती हो सकती है, पर उनको एक ज़बरदस्त ट्रेनिंग इसके माध्यम से मिलती है। मैंने देखा कि कई बार टेबल की सामने की साइड से बात करते हैं, तब प्रश्न खड़े करने में बहुत मज़ा आता है। ऐसा नहीं हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, ऐसा होना चाहिए, पर जब करते हैं तब ध्यान में आता है। तो मैंने विद्यार्थियों को देखा, जैसे शादी में लड़की या लड़के के माँ बाप की जो स्थिति होती है, वैसी स्थिति इन बच्चों की थी। वो इसलिए कि जब वो लोग मेरे को भी मिलने आए, मेरे को मिलने आने की आवश्यकता नहीं थी, इनविटेशन देने की ज़रूरत नहीं थी, पर इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ ट्रेनिंग। उनको भी लगना चाहिए कि कॉलेज मैनेजमेंट से मिलना चाहिए, मिल के कैसे टाइम लेना चाहिए, बात करनी चाहिए। मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा वो जब मिलने आए, इसलिए कि मिलने के वक्त उन्होंने पूरे कार्यक्रम की डिटेल मेरे से चर्चा की। तो उससे ध्यान में ये आता है कि जब हम मैनेजमेंट के लोगों को मिलने जाते हैं तो हमको क्या बात करना चाहिए, उनको तो पूरा बताना चाहिए। ये उनके ध्यान में था। तो ये एक ट्रेनिंग है। तो मैं चाहता हूं कि इन सभी बच्चों के लिए एक जोरदार तालियों से उनका अभिनंदन करें। सबसे अच्छी बात ये रही कि डॉट 10 बजे एक कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत हो गई। ये भी एक सीखने लायक चीज़ है। तो आज के इस प्रकार के एक बढ़िया कार्यक्रम के लिए मैं आप सभी को हार्दिक शुभेच्छाएं देता हूं और कार्यक्रम की सफलता की कामना करता हूं। अस्तु भारत माता।
I would like Dr. Kashikar sir to please give 2 words to the students.
Namaskar all, respected Pradeep Bhai, Dr. Karia, Dr. Bhagat, Kaushal Bhai, Ilabin, and all friends here in the hall. National Institute of Mass Communication and Journalism has entered into its 15th successful year. The institute is vocal in imparting legacy of knowledge, churning, and skill enhancement, as both the factors are important ingredients for a mass media student and future mass communication. And to enhance these qualities, our institute takes various unique student-centric initiatives. Accendo is one of them. It is a platform for the students who are inclined towards marketing communication to learn and gain experience about the actual field before they practically enter into it. This initiative was started in 2016 as a yearly event where students are supposed to work from concept creation to final execution. This is what Pradeepa is also saying. It gives them first-hand experience of public relations fields nitty-gritty. Since it's a students' platform, media students of other institutes are also invited as participants. Senior professionals of various media verticals share their experiences with students. Now, for the whole day, we are going to listen to them. Accendo is a training platform for marketing communication students. This event is designed in such a way that students practice their classroom learning and get vital exposure. As of now, 4 seasons of Accendo have successfully completed. I wish a grand success to this 5th edition of Accendo. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. I would also request Dr. Shashikant Bhagat sir to give 2 words to the students.
Respected our Managing Trustee Sri Pradeep Jain, Director Sri Dr. Shirish Kasikar, our colleague Ilaben Koshalbhai, and our first inaugural guest Dr. Paresh Karia, and all the students. This is one of the fruit of the freedom of expression that is aligned with the NIMCJ. And since 2016, we are always trying to achieve this fruit, and hopefully this 5th edition is certainly going to achieve another milestone of understanding the power of freedom of communication through marketing communication, right? So welcome you all. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request all the guests to please sit down off the dais so that the presentation prepared by Paresh sir is visible to you all. Thank you. We have 2 minutes to help Nandini with settling down the stage. Thank you, Nandini. Thank you, Nidhi. Till then, students can prepare their questions for crisis communication and management. So, Dr. Paresh Karya sir has a small activity for you all. The sheets are being distributed by Rohan Jha to everyone. Please have a look and prepare your mind accordingly.
बंद है ना उनको माइक भी चाहिए और फोन भी चाहिए माइक
इंट्रोड्यूस कर देता हूँ. Yes, I would like to reintroduce our guest today, Dr. Paresh Karya. Dr. Paresh Karya is the Director West of PAPL Corporation. He has been a forefront leader and involved in corporate leadership, training, coaching, and advising the companies and entrepreneurs in India and across South Asia. The topic he will be talking about today, crisis communication and management. Crisis communication is also the subspecialty of PR profession. Crisis management is application of strategies to deal with the crisis. The question we have in front of us today that will be answered by a doctor is to how to build communication infrastructure for managing crisis. Thank you so much. Yeah. So let us all welcome Dr. Paresh Karya with an applause on the podium.
Thank you. My voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
I can manage. So first of all, yeah. Oh. So first of all, my big thank you not to. Okay, I think I take the mic better. Of this, just give me the mic better. Is it ready? Mic. Hello. Is now okay? Right? So first of all, my big thank you note to all the dignitaries here and dignitaries of the dais, all the dignitaries, student committee, and all the students coming here. So big thank you. And today's topic, crisis management and crisis communication. So I was listening to all of you, and somebody was using that it is a sub part of communication. But from a corporate, I will tell you, this is the main job of the people who join us. Because see, crisis is a topic where there is 100% attention to it. Because it impacts. So let me walk you through a presentation and we will have an interesting question answers, right? So before I start the session, it is my habit to make sure that all of you are here with mind. So I get confirmation. Yes, sir. Okay. In subject, all dignitaries are excluded, but you have to show me that you are here with mind because I'm sure of the dignitaries. So पहले आपकी जो वो चेयर है ना वो कंफर्टेबल कर दो और ये वाला जो जगह है ना पेट रखा है वो नीचे कर दो. Just so you can stand up. So first of all of you stand up. Sir, आपको dignitaries are excluded. So I don't want to give a lot of hard. सब लोग जाएंगे. Now listen to me very carefully. Are you listening to me? Yes. My boss, his name is Mr. Simon. S-I-M-O-N. Very good boss, but very tough boss. Lot of learning from Simon. So I want to, honor him today. on a special occasion. So now I'm giving you some instruction. Whenever I use word first Simon, you have to follow the instruction. When I say Simon clap, you clap. When I say Simon sit down, you sit down. Are you okay? Yes. But if I don't use my boss name, then you will not follow the instruction. Ready? Ready. Sit down. पच्चीस टका लोग प्रॉब्लम में है. Simon clap. Simon sit down. Simon stand up. Clap. So, last answer because we have limited time. I am here for 45 minutes. Ready? Simon clap. Simon sit down. Stand up. 99% I am happy. Thank you. So keep your mind here. I'll tell you. Today is a special day. Why I am telling you? Because you will have a lot of learning, which you will enjoy all throughout. Now, standard disclaimer. Jara pad lo. What all I speak is in my personal capacity, because I have worked with multinational for a long time. You know the Otis elevator? You travel in lift? I was the managing director, then Asia Pacific director. I worked with Otis elevator for 28 years. Then I started all these companies, which you saw in the first slide, right? So my standard disclaimer to all of you. Now this topic, let me be honest, I am not the expert. My answer is, I have a journey, I have a good exposure in crisis communication and crisis management, right? But still I can say work in progress. Still I have to learn a lot, right? So work in progress, but again, I confirm that I have a very good exposure on crisis management and communication. Now, if you go and do a search engine in Google to understand what is crisis management and crisis communication, just to clarify that basically crisis management deals with the reality of the crisis, and crisis communication deals with the perception of reality. Both are different. But yes, crisis communication is a part of crisis management. If you manage crisis, then you have to do the communication, effective communication, right? So this is how I look at the topic. I know you are a student, you will have a theory. So this is the same theory in corporate we practice. We have all four things. We prepare for crisis. We make sure that we prevent crisis. We have the capability to manage the crisis or any incident. And we always, call for the meeting and discussion that what are the learning lesson or lessons out of the crisis. So all four things you study here in the college, we do it. But what James was telling, practicals, right? So we'll talk more practicals based on the theory. So my understanding that when you talk about crisis management or crisis communication together, what can happen and what has happened, right? Two questions. Now, what has happened with me so far, work in progress? I had to manage crisis at facilities, at my factories, even product-related crisis, service-related crisis, public incident, some fatality, some serious public incident, government-related crisis, and company performance-related crisis. So this is my scope so far. Again, I say work in progress. So what has happened with me? This is a list I'm sharing with you. Worked with Otis for 28 years. So for me, crisis was almost every week job. Because you are traveling in an elevator, you are VIP, you get stuck. What happened? So and so person stuck in the elevator. Otis did not respond in time. Forget now VIP. Now everybody here is my VIP, right? So everybody complains. So I had a crisis as part of my inbuilt job, right? It was elevator related, escalator related, and this is basically used by public, right? So public related crisis. We had incident of accidents, even fatality, tough time I had to face. Even personally, I will tell you, I had a lot of empathy for the sometimes fatality at the job site. So So I can tell you, managing crisis was really, a great challenge for me, but a lot of learning lessons. Now, again, talking on the crisis, look at the, lot of bad news which you as a professional will have to face. You get direct, indirect, local, international, even your stakeholders, your investors, public, these are all, government is also your stakeholder, right? And this basically causes a reaction, right? To manage the crisis and communicate for that crisis, into bracket incident. A lot of news you read, right? I think this is last week news. Maruti Suzuki reports fire incident. 2 people died at so and so center, right? Even Andhra Pradesh. Now this is the part and parcel of the business, right? You have to manage all this incident. Apart from, we talk about all these incidents, but there are some smart crises. Smart crises like your shareholder will ask you why your performance is going down, why your attrition rate is high. It is also crisis management. If this big investor tomorrow tell media that this is what we are not happy, we are going to sell off, you imagine your market capitalization will be in trouble, right? So financial target missed, project postponed, facilities closed, or product lines terminated. These are all my experience and talking to you. This is what all, even I tell you, I have handled toughest annual general meeting. Have you attended AGM anybody? I'm giving you a homework. For people like you, you must attend AGM. And you find a lot of smart people. Even I will tell you, the person has 100 equities here, but he is asking tough question. And I will tell you, 2012, my boss gave me this task in Mumbai because his throat was not good. Same Simon, now my boss name. Simon gave me, and what happened after the AGM, what was his feedback? His feedback was, Paresh, you are very intelligent. You are very good. I don't like your acting. You don't know how to act, right, in front of shareholder. He said, you talk all intelligent stuff, but you don't know how to show the, body language and everything. So it's also part and parcel of your job, right? And there are classes available today. Immediately he sponsored me to Anupam Kher Academy. Anupam Kher was teaching that time acting, right? And he gave me a specific, tailor-made training. So back to basic to our topic. Now question was, what has happened? And now what can happen? That is a homework, right? The homework in terms of proactive preparation, right? Now, when I got this invitation, I was reading a newspaper in Mumbai, and this is Mumbai Gujarat Samachar. If you read Gujarati, fine, but I am typical Gujarati, right? So I have read this newspaper, and this is Gujarat Samachar Mumbai, 18th April. In the state of Gujarat, there are 1,500 acts. If you miss this compliance, it can take you to the jail. Big homework, nah? Because when I read this newspaper, I ask my, compliance team. I said, "Where are we?" You will get the answer. But this is what has happened. What can happen? And now, what can happen is a homework for people like you and me, because you have to do a media tracking. You have to do a news tracking, right? What is happening? Macro and micro, you have to do it. And that is a homework pending. What can happen? That is a homework. Now the question when I was preparing, why media? Why media management, crisis management, and why crisis communication? So a couple of answers I wanted to share with you. The danger. Because when crisis happens, it's a danger, right? It takes you somewhere to the challenge. So danger, but very important part is transparency. How assertively, right, you handle it. So can across the line into reporting violations. It can be regulators watch what you say. Very, very important in crisis management and communication. People are watching you. Misleading stakeholder can lead to financial or legal penalties. Stakeholder expect transparency no matter what the situation. And last, very important, people will remember how you manage the crisis and what you communicated. And I always tell you, first impression is an everlasting impression. And that is where this topic is not a sub part of your job, it is a main part of your job. That is what I want to tell you today, this topic, right? You like, I will tell you, you are professional today and you are future professional also, right? Again, or disagreeing? Already I know you are studying, but you are practicing, little things. And today you are the most powerful generation, right? You know, the smart media. Right? So I have no grudge on that. You are already professional, but you have to make yourself bigger and bigger in the field. Now, same topic, why? Very important is your stakeholder trust. Stakeholder is your employee also, your investors also, government also, people at general also, like they're watching you. Today, if you ask me, we had a great lesson from a company called Nestle. Nestle का नाम सुना है? Yes. 10,000 का शेयर 4,000 रुपये हो गए. You remember? And my boss from America told me once the Nestle crisis was over, he said, Paresh and team, please study the Nestle, what went wrong, why it went wrong, what were the gaps in managing the crisis, what were the gaps in managing the crisis communication, what was the weak link. ऐसा 10 क्वेश्चन तो ऐसे ही खड़े खड़े बता दिया. Are you getting my point? 10, 15 question list he gave me. Trust me, we took 4.5 months to submit the report. Person like me, who has done double PhD, okay, 4.5 months. Because there were a lot of gaps, but again, I always appreciate them, they manage in their best capacity, okay. But even I will tell you, we found that there were a lot of weak links in the company. I will tell you, the strength of the company is the strength of the weakest person in the company. That was my main lesson after studying the Nestle, what all happened. And we found that a couple of weak people in the communication department spoiled the entire show. Are you getting my point? And that is why I said this is the main topic for me. If I am handling a couple of companies, this is the dear topic to me. That I want to manage my crisis professionally. That is point number one, expectation. Point number two, my crisis communication must be proactive, rightful, assertive, 100% compliant. This is my list. Are you getting my point? And my expectation from all of you, the future professional. Why? So another answer, control the messaging. You can say what stakeholder actually hear. Another, somebody will feel the communication gap if you are not proactive. So why not you? Why not you, right? And last point, you can provide the context about the situation. See, I think communication is very, very powerful. It gives you a lot of opportunity to shape up the right perspective. You got my point. In the context of our topic, right? And why not to take first mover advantage when we talk about this topic? Why? You all are leader? Yes or no? Simon say yes or no? Yes. Simon, you all are, right? We all are leader, right? And crisis management, crisis communication, we must master, right? And I have one formula to become master. You want to be genius or master? How many say no? Raise your hand. सबको जीनियस बनना है. फॉर्मूला दे दो. जीनियस फॉर्मूला बराबर ध्यान से सुनो. जीनियस इक्वल टू फोकस, FOCUS, focus plus daily improvement plus time equal to genius. Focus plus daily improvement plus time equal to genius. Now this field need at least 2.5 to 3 years to focus constantly, continuously in media, crisis management and media communication. After 3 years, if you do this, formula follow-up, come to me, I will issue a PhD certificate. Come to me without fail. You got my point. And that is what we do in our company. We shape up the professionals, give them a focus, push them for daily improvement, and we give them time. We give them many cases, right? We give them real crisis management and involve them, right? And this is what is your job future, right? So I want to see you leader. What? Why? But very important questions. Are we ready? Crisis management, crisis communication. Are we ready? So take this presentation as an executive presentation. Don't take this presentation as a student presentation. Assume that I'm your boss. You all are my time being today employee, managers, whatever you consider, but I'm presenting to my team. Are you okay? Perception thoda change kar diya abhi. So I'm making presentation, executive presentation. Are we ready? Question. So homework ready hai. There was a big answer from my team. Yes, sir. We have processes, we have policies, standard work, these, that. My question was execution. You have everything. You have all the resources. Execution is the key. When the real crisis happened, are we using the resources? Answer was 50-50. Are you getting my point? Are we really aligned with the policy? Answer was not good. You got my point. So there is no shortage of remarkable ideas and resources. What is missing is we'll execute. That's a question from top management. Are you getting my point? We'll execute, right? So answer was not convincing to me. And when I started asking questions based on the past crisis management, and these are the highlights. Number one, do we understood the real cause, root cause, right? Forget 5 whys. I said you go beyond 5 whys, right? Do we understood the real cause, how long it will last if crisis happens like this? And that time there was estimate, but it went on and still it is open, some part of it. So you must have idea how long it will last, how it will affect my business, the magnitude of this problem, how it will affect my business, how it will affect various stakeholders, right? So this was the homework related question. Move fast and hold steady. This was also feedback shared with the team that don't let rumors get out of control, because we had some crisis management and I got the feedback from various sources. People talking about your company A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That was not the case. You got my point. So rumors. Gain credit for transparency. I found that we talk half truth, which is not good. See, if you ask me business foundation, my language, 3 things. First, I'm strong believer of environment, health and safety. I don't want to violate EHS. Number 2, code of ethics. And number 3, very dear to me, compliances. If you don't comply, tomorrow somebody will bite you. And you cannot keep, the influencers or, powerful people always in your good book or their good book, right? So better you comply. Because we can manage the business somehow, but no, that is not the way. Code of ethics and compliance is very, very dear, right? So, and even half truth is dangerous. Talk before your competitors. Continue the communication process until issue has passed, and don't fade away, right? Communicate the conclusion. So these are my guidelines to you. Have a support platform. We have, but again, I found that support platform is not full of energy. I get my point. See, I will tell you, if you really want to be the top man in the company, I will tell you the story. Are you ready? Some लोग ready हो? This story I heard in one radio, FM radio, I forgot that, but story बराबर ध्यान से सुनो. मुंबई का ट्रैफिक है. ट्रैफिक के सिग्नल के ऊपर काफी गाड़ियां खड़ी हुई है. एक लड़का पानी बेच रहा है. एक लड़का पानी बेच रहा है और एक सेठ जी है, उसका गाड़ी नॉक करके बोलते हैं, सर पानी पियोगे? सेठ दरवाजा खोल रहे, कितने में दिया? तो बोलते हैं 50 पैसा. पुरानी स्टोरी है, नेक्स्ट 50 पैसा. 15 पैसा क्यों दे? ऐसे करके क्लास बंद कर दिया. बट वो करता उससे पहले वो लड़के ने पानी अपनी डब्बे में वापस डाल दिया. ऐसे भाव पूछा, पानी सीधा डब्बे में डाल दिया. तो बातों में एक महात्मा तो रिक्शा में देख रहे थे और सुन रहे थे. तो महात्मा ने रिक्शा वाले को देख मेरे को पूछ रहा है इसको, बोलते आपने ऐसा क्यों किया? उसने भाव किया 15 पैसा, तो आपने कुछ रिएक्शन नहीं दिया, सीधा पानी अपने इसमें डाल दिया. तो लड़के का आंसर बराबर सुनो. बोलते हैं सर उसको पानी नहीं पीना था, उसको खाली भाव ही करना था. सर जिसको पानी पीना है ना, वो पहले पानी पी जाते हैं और फिर पूछते कितना हुआ. सो आपको कौन सी कैटेगरी में जाना है? इफ यू रियली क्रिएट अ पैशन इन दिस फील्ड, पानी पी लो, बाद में पूछो कितना हुआ, राइट? टाइम. आई एम नॉट आस्किंग मनी. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? व्हाई IIM is successful? compared to other institutes. I do go and give my lecture at IIM Ahmedabad. वो बकुल भाई तोला क्या थे? Remember? What time पे I was used to visit them on behalf of my company. तो मैं आपको यही डायलॉग दे रहा हूँ कि if you really want to come up in the field, पानी पी लो बाद में पूछो कितना टाइम हुआ, क्योंकि आपको पैसा तो अभी इधर पूछना नहीं है, right? ये institute में. So moving further, I think have a support platform, but make sure that you use your support, right? We have a designated spokesperson, but time पे कभी भी ये execute हुआ नहीं है. It's on the paper. Move fast and sorry, it was previous slide. Have a response plan. We have a good response plan, but when we do the postmortem or we do learning lesson, we realize there are a lot of gaps. So I'm going to talk that topic for a while, but have a response plan we have, and this is part of crisis management and communication, so that you understand the situation and how to deal with it. Allow the various scenarios, especially worst case. Communicate with success looks like, and finally get management on the board. It is always on the board, right? But somehow management is also little late on some situation, right? Very important in crisis management and communication is get your story straight. That is difficult. Everybody has a fear factor, but there are ways and means. I'll teach you, right? Develop key messages and supporting data. Address specific stakeholders, establish empathy, provide context, and show the way to the future, right? Now, coming to the main point through crisis communication. I took short presentation with my team because I found in my company, we are very bad in managing the media. And I started asking this question, what is our status on managing the media? I know few of you will join media, yes or no? How many want to join media? Raise your hand. How many of you want to join company like us? So बहुत कम लोग हैं यार, 2-3 लोग ही हैं, ये दोनों को ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. Majority goes to media. So अभी आपको मुझे समझना है कि how I am going to manage you. Are you okay? Yeah. Only 2 people you be with me. Okay? You are going to join corporate. So what is our status? I was asking my media team and communication team. Are we comfortable, uncomfortable? And मेरा question ऐसे ही होता है. What is our status? Naturally, nobody will tell me that we are at non-compliance. Majority will tell me that we are at basic compliance. But after asking 10-15 questions, they reduce their score from basic compliance to backward. Well, sir, we are not totally non-compliant, but we are little below the basic compliance. And what is boss expectation? Complete personal conviction. जैन साहब ने अभी जो बताया ना, अपने किया ना, स्टूडेंट ने ये प्रोग्राम, that is his expectation. Personal conviction. My student can do any damn thing. That is the result. I very my point. And that is what I want, Jain sir, right? In my media, managing the media, especially. So this is my status that we are less than basic compliance, right? So I took a standard call. I found that media segment was very poor by my company. And this is what is a small presentation. And after that, we will have a Q&A. Standard work for media holding segment. We have SOP. You understand, na? Standard work. But there were gaps. And we found that some, not good language. And somewhere I found that media used to trigger some word. Now, this guy used to jump, which I don't want. You got it? The media is powerful today. They know which are the implementary language. You know not that. आपको प्रवोक करना है तो मैं अभी कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि अनुपम खेर ने ट्रेनिंग दी है. उसने अच्छा ट्रेनिंग दिया. मीडिया वाले को ये चीज याद रखना है. पहला क्या है मालूम है? मीडिया वाले को याद रखना है एक्शन. एक्शन ना धीरे से बोला अभी काम खत्म हो गया कट. You got my point. This is also future job, action and cut, right? So back to basics. Like what we did in the call, we gave the standard presentation. What I told them, when we hit with the crisis, right? 2 things to keep in mind. Number 1, the media is well connected and always in search of illegal. Today I'll tell you, one of my American boss, he spent 14 days And this big question, is 85 to 90% of Indian media talk negative. Are you okay with this statement of American? 85 to 90% of Indian media talk negative. I smile. I said, if you give too much positive media, it will not work. Then his question was why? The bosses are always smart. Why? I said, if you give too much positive, you will understand that this media is with BJP or Congress. Filling up like. Then again he started arguing with me. And it was endless discussion. It was endless. And then finally we concluded the psychology of the culture. So I'll tell you, every country, every state, even I'll tell you, India is a multinational cultural part of the world. Huh? How many states we have, How many union territory? You travel everywhere, you will find some difference in the culture, right? So I told all this psychological aspect, right? But back to our main topic. So I told him that media is always in search of the topic, and speed and consistency of the response is very crucial, right? Now I give the next steps that how to manage email, SMS, and we have a team for marketing and communication. They handle especially media communication. Point number two, provide as detailed a report initially and keep the team informed of further findings. Point number three, this needs to be done within 10 minutes of getting to know like we had one fatal accident. You understand now, you have to manage fast, right? So this has to happen in 10 minutes and ensure that no employee speaks to the media. That is our policy today. Moving further, holding statement was my weakness because media needs something. Holding statement. You get my point. This was my weakness, but now it is my strength. Now I'm giving you the final answer. Then what is it provides the media with an initial statement designed to indicate companies or brands awareness of the issue and initial step to give them the message. Right? Now holding statement basically respond in a critical first 30 minutes, media needs to be given a holding statement. Right? Holding statement is very important. I told them as far as possible, please avoid no more. Tell something. Again, you are a professional company. And by time to engage initial experts, or sometimes we now hire outside expert also, right? And I give them some idea. Key messages when you give the holding statement. Number one, communicate awareness of the situation, that we are aware that what fatality has happened or ABCD has happened. Number two, working toward the next steps. Tell them that this is what has happened. We are fully aware. We are working. And my standard dialogue, work in progress, right? Safety of public and equipment is important. You must highlight them. This is related to accident or a product related accident. Ongoing litigation, as far as possible, tell them that we are not the right person. I think our legal head is the right person, right? Now, one or two example, we did a standard work to give the holding statement. Example number one, if anything happened at company facility, what is a holding statement if there is no loss of life? This is an example. We are aware of this incident and are working to gather more information as quickly as possible. The safe operation of our facility is always a top priority. So you realize you like it. Feedback is a breakfast for champion. So आपको अच्छा लगा ये holding statement के बराबर नहीं. So what is the improvement? When you say like this is yes or no? Because if I am in Chennai and if I does like this, it means yes. You got my point. So आपने गुजरात में किया तो no. So tell me what is the scope for improvement?
There should be something precise. Like this is very much, they're keeping themselves like on the very safer side. They're not very precise with what they're saying.
Why should I go into unsafe zone? I'm from other side. You are from media side. Trust me, this is what is going. So now this is a guideline. Now here we can add so and so facility, this time, that time, this has happened. But this is the summary that we are aware of this thing has happened. We are working on it. We are collecting, and you said that we have empathy. If it is a fatality, then there is empathy also. Right? Our thoughts are with them. So my point back to you, future media or future joining corporate, this is critical from both the sides. Because even media, you have to feed your boss. If you have done media job, anybody else, I think, media job on trust it's not an easy job. थोड़ा scare कर रहा हूँ मैं आपको, जरूरी है. Media job is very, very challenging. So we have a standard statement. I think soft copy you may get. So just read that homework which I have done. But very crucial, I think how much, 10, 15 minutes with me? How much time with me? 10 minutes? Okay. See, my another problem apart from holding statement was different voices. And many times, I was not able to understand what is the real issue. आपके साथ हुआ है कभी? सबके साथ तो बहुत all these dignitaries आपके साथ कभी हुआ है? What is the problem? यार पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. So we will just walk through quickly one case study we run in our company. इसको बोलते हैं problem statement, and this is going to be a big gift to you, right? So you will have to tell me thank you after that. Okay? You have the hard copy with you? How many say no? Raise your hand. My question is like this: how many say no? First of all, we will read this two paragraph. Nothing engineering here. Only we have to read two paragraph. This is a newspaper we are reading, okay? And we have to convert this two paragraph into the analysis. The analysis is like this. After reading this two paragraph, we have to identify two column. First column में what is and is not analysis. This case study is nothing. Is and is not analysis. So after reading this two paragraph, we will analyze what is the defect, what is not the defect, right? What is the object, what is not the object. Where this happened, where is not. When is, when is not. And what is the, how big is the magnitude of a problem and how big is not the magnitude of a problem. Understood? Lock कर दूं इसको बराबर. So we go to the two paragraph. Now I am reading two paragraph on your behalf. You have a hard copy sheet in front of you. You will put your effort to identify object, defect, when, where, magnitude of the problem. Clear? Now I am reading. A twin-engine propeller-driven aircraft manufactured by Aerotrans Airlines lost power in one of its two carburetor-driven engines during a night flight over the state of Nebraska. Nebraska is in USA, right? The pilot was forced to make an emergency landing in the middle of the field. Middle of the field, ground landing without grass के ऊपर करना पड़ा. Middle of the field. Nobody suffered any injuries. Focus. Nobody suffered any injuries. The aircraft was severely damaged and was considered as a total loss from an insurance standpoint. Right? Now, in this case, the engine that failed in this aircraft was JP300 model, manufactured by Global Aviation Company, headquartered in New York, right? And cause of this engine failure is unknown at this time. Now, इसमें object क्या है? और object क्या नहीं है? What is the object? What is not the object? What is the defect? इसमें problem क्या हुआ? And what is not the defect? When this happened? During the night flight. When is not during the day flight. दो आंसर मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. Where this happened? Over the state of Nebraska. Where is not outside USA. What is the magnitude of a problem? What is not the magnitude of a problem? Are you comfortable to translate? जो लोग जल्दी से फीडबैक देना उसको मेरी तरफ से अच्छी सी बुक मिलेगी. वो प्रॉब्लम. बराबर ना देगा. The book is very good, 80 page. And the title of the book is Get Ready for Research Mindset. मीडिया में वो भी जरूरी है. Even other such भी चलेगा मुझे. कभी-कभी half truth is also good. इनिशिएटिव आपको लेना पड़ेगा. और दूसरा माइक रेडी है तो वहां तक भी पहुंच जाएगा. चले मेरा माइक यूज कर ले. So I'm checking your resources.
So you can use the podium mic if you want, and we can circulate this.
Done. Thank you for the suggestion. So these are the resourceful people. Jain sir. Anybody ready? किसी को इनिशिएटिव लेना है? आप ready नहीं हो तो I will come and force you like my company. I am not happy here. If nobody is ready, I walk through and I ask, what is your name? What is your name? असल आप बताओगे. 2 मिनट के बाद रेडी करता हूँ, थोड़ा बहुत होमवर्क करता हूँ। सब लोग वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस में चाहिए साहब, ये हर्षित पर पूछना पड़ेगा, हर्षित के बेटा, हाँ हर्षित, उसी को हेल्प कर दो। No worry. So what I am telling you, don't worry, if you cannot complete what I wanted to tell you, then the answers you know. What is the object? Engine. Aircraft नहीं है, JT300 engine is the object. What is not the object? Aircraft is not the object. You got the answer? Yeah. What is the defect? Loss of power in one of the carburetor driven engine, that is JT300. So loss of power is a defect. What is not the defect? No any other defect. कोई तो पैकेट है, कुछ लिखा ही नहीं है. Where this happened? When this happened? What is the magnitude of a problem? Perfect. Who said aircraft severely damaged? After you book ready. Don't forget to select one. And what is not the magnitude? Nobody got any injury. Your perfect answer. आपको 2 बुक मिलेगा, एक नहीं. Okay. So this is one initiative, right? अभी पता चला मैं आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ ये केस स्टडी से, मीडिया वालों और मेरी टीम में भी ज्वाइन करने वाला था, दोनों कॉर्पोरेट में आने वाला है. अभी पता चला people always beat around the bush, गोल गोल घुमाते हैं, but ये सिंपल प्रॉब्लम है, राइट? मीडिया क्राइसिस में यही आपको पता करना है, ये ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है, डिफेक्ट क्या है. डिफेक्ट कभी-कभी नहीं डिफाइन करो, गैप क्या है, अरे मेरे को डिफेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है, where this happened, what is the magnitude of this particular crisis. Are you okay? मजा है तो क्लैप मार दो एक. I am very famous today, हाँ. देखो आपको ब्रेकिंग न्यूज बनाना है तो इसमें से बन गया. वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग, बराबर ध्यान से सुनो. ब्रेकिंग न्यूज, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग, देयर इज अ ब्रेकिंग न्यूज फ्रॉम सो एंड सो मीडिया चैनल. डू यू नो दैट सो एंड सो कंपनी JT300 aircraft engine lost the power in one of its carburetor driven twin engine over the state of Nebraska during night flight. You know, God say no injuries, but aircraft total loss from insurance point of view. Cut 15 सेकंड, 15 सेकंड ब्रेकिंग न्यूज बन गया. और 15 सेकंड में बॉस को भी पता चल गया कि ये प्रॉब्लम है. You got it? So this is my gift to you as a case study. Perfect? किसी को एग्जाम देना है, पहली एग्जाम मैं देता हूँ. Paint on the surface is peeling. What is the object? Surface. What is the defect? Paint is peeling. अभी आपका एग्जाम रेडी हो. What is object? What is defect? Object is computer, memory. सब लोग पास हो. दूसरा, fuse burns when heater is plugged in. Object क्या है इसमें? Heater is object. आपको मैं गवर्नमेंट को दे रहा हूँ. एक केस स्टडी के बाद पूरा एग्जाम 100% पास किया है, right? So I think my big thank you note, and I'm open for a question and answer. I will try my best. I told you I'm not expert. I'm still work in progress. Okay. Any question I'm happy to answer at my level. Coordinate कौन कर रहा था? मेरे साथ. Who was coordinating? That boy. You sent me one question. You remember? You sent me one question. You don't have question. You asked me question, and this was your question. Yes or no? This was a question on behalf of the committee, student committee. The question is how to build communication infrastructure for managing crisis. See, first, your vision must be whatever you do for your company or even media company for a crisis management and crisis communication. Your work must be aiming that what we will do with the personal conviction. That is my first answer before you build the resources. Now, 3 points which is very clear as a part of this response on building communication infrastructure. Number 1, you must have a support platform. Support platform means you must have a policy and process. I have a standard corporate dialogue. बराबर ध्यान से सुनो. person is not a problem. Person is not a problem. Process is a problem. You must have a solid process, right? So that is point number one. Have a support platform. Number two, you must have a response plan. And I shared my weaknesses. My holding statement was not clear. So we worked on it. My another weakness was we were not able to understand the problem with the object defect when where magnitude. Right? And last part of it, move fast and you make sure that you move fast and you hold space. Right? So here I say big thank you to all of you and complete my session. Right?
I would request Dr. Kashikar sir and Pradeep Jain sir to please come on the dais. I would request Nandini to please give the hamper to Paresh sir so that he can felicitate Kashikar sir and Pradeep Jain sir. Yes. So you are the mentor of our college. A round of applause, please.
Sir, my honor.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to welcome Dr. Twinkle Patel on the dais and request Pradeep Jain sir and Kashikar sir to please felicitate Twinkle Patel ma'am. Please welcome Dr. Twinkle Patel. She is the founder of Motherhood Foundation, our co-powered by of the event. A round of applause, please.
Sir, one more order of idea. One is
Yeah, sure, please, sir. Yeah. Sir, can I have the name of the student? Khushbu, please come forward.
सर दोनों आपको ही लेना है
नहीं आप
A round of applause for Khushbu. I request claps में जो energy अभी थी वो हमेशा रहे. Thank you so much. I would request Twinkle ma'am to please share few words.
Would you like a mic?
Yes, Pilu आप सब लोग बताते बैठो. Fine, if it's not there, then that's it. Good morning, all. કેમ ધીમું ધીમું બોલો છો? How's the Josh? So, first of all, thank you very much, all dear students, NIMCJ, as I am considered myself as a part of this family. So, I am not your guest, okay? I think ઘણા બધા તમે મને ઓળખો બી છો અહીંયા. So, I also feel very much proudly say that as I am a health and wellness partner of this NIMCJ family. So today I am not going to give any lecture as I am not your trainer, corporate trainer, being a health and wellness partner. So what you consider as a health? Can anyone say that? What is the definition of health? Come on, you are going to be a media people, media and communications. तो बहुत सारे crisis आएंगे health के ऊपर, medical health के ऊपर. तो उसको कैसे स्टोरी कवर करोगे, क्या छापोगे, क्या लिखोगे, क्या बोलोगे? So, should I? Okay, please. Please stand up. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. So I look health as a differently, as a like philanthropist or as a social worker. Yes, for the medical person, yes, health is a physical health, and as we know, we always believe in evidence-based theory, whether we are a media person or not. But health is a physical health, mental well-being, mental well-being, your emotional well-being, and then you can serve the society. So health is a complete package of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So मतलब पिछले कई दायकों से ये definitions change हो चुकी है, and you might have seen and feel that कि nowadays mental challenges, mental health issues, mental doesn't mean that पागल वाला, like वो वाला word किसी को भी मत tagline मत दे देना. Like there are some confusion, anxiety, overthinking, sleeplessness. There are many issues. So which comes under mental well-being or emotional. So at your age, relationship failures are one of the hot topics from every like all the colleges, all the university students. So जैसे सर ने बोला, Dr. Paresh has rightly told, crisis management. There are a lot of theories, studies, books, policies are there to manage the crisis for the outer world, right? In corporate, in profession, in studies. But what about the inner well-being? How you can manage your inner crisis? Learn that first of all. Because there is no any fixed theories, any fixed ideas, and there is no written anything available for that. So you have to learn how to balance, how to manage, how to control your happiness, your likes, your dislikes, your emotions, your angers, your thought process. No one can help you. And you are the best judge for yourself to manage your inner well-being and your inner crisis. Then and then you can manage your outer crisis. जो भी आपके field work पे है, those who are like going to become a TV anchor and all this thing. तो वो सारा stuff तो आते ही रहने वाला है. So without taking much time, बस मैं वही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि as I was informed कि ये सारा function students ने ही arrange किया है and like you have done a very good job. So thank you very much and congratulations. So you can see that अब ये functions manage करने में बहुत सारे crises आए होंगे ना, जैसे resources का, ये अभी mic बंद हो गया, बैनर नहीं आया है, सोशल मीडिया का क्रिएटिव टाइम भी रेडी नहीं है, लाइट्स नहीं है, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, इन्विटेशन शूट अप नहीं हुआ है, मैसेजेस नहीं गए हैं. So there are a lot of crises which is going on and off till we alive in this world. So this is never-ending game, my dear all the students. So learn that how to manage yourself and how to live life powerfully and balanced. And yes, in our foundations, Motherhood Foundation, I always welcome to be a part of this foundations and volunteering. I think बहुत सारे लोगों ने तो कुछ volunteering के लिए फॉर्म भी भर दिया है, as I was informed. And yes, we are going to make a circle of happiness. As I am a health and wellness partner of NIMCG, so I welcome and I invite all of you. तो हम ऐसा कुछ create करें, the space for communications, the space for sharing. Because बहुत सारे ऐसे issues होते हैं, you cannot share with your family members, your siblings, your professor, your teachers, your students. So there is someone, ऐसा कोई होना चाहिए या ऐसा कोई platform होना चाहिए where you can share, where you can throw your like anything, जो भी आपके अंदर crisis चल रहे हैं, जो भी thinking, thought process, logics चल रहा है. So yes, so live life powerfully and ask yourself why you are here, right? Not in this AMA hall on this planet. So this is the temporary world. So temporary world के लिए इतने सारे burden हैं, लेके मत घूमो कि जैसे आप ही लोग कर रहे हो सब. Yes, we are the mediator. As a media person, we all are the mediator. So ठीक है, we can try our best. तो believe in karma theory. So कर्म करना अपने हाथ में है. Whether it is like it works or not. So that is okay sometimes. Like every time this is not happen कि हाँ हम perfect ही हैं. So if doesn't work, then do not take so much burden on yourself. So ये सारी चीजें अभी last year जो World Health Day गया तो like yes I was invited here only from WHO and UNICEF और हमारा एक session था talk था वो भी इसी topic पे था क्योंकि right now जो भी death rates आ रहे हैं drug addictions और जो भी issues आ रहे हैं mental health issues so around like आप media person हो तो आपको numbers पता होगा let's not involved in that number game but जो 15 से 30-35 साल के जो भी बच्चे हैं उनका जो भी suicidal rates है day by day it is going to be increased so don't you think we have to work upon ourselves right so don't take too much stress and ऐसा मतलब burden मत feel करो कि हाँ do not be a judgmental for yourself and for anybody else. Be a good communicator. Crisis management का सबसे पहला key point वही है. Be a good communicator, effective communicator, and timely. Time is most important. And be a good listener for the next person. ऐसा नहीं कि हम पार्टी करने के लिए ही ग्रुप है या फिर बर्थडेज एंड फेयरवेल्स और अचीवमेंट शेयर करने के लिए ही है नहीं अगर किसी को कुछ बोलना है तो प्रोवाइड स्पेस so thank you very much once again for inviting me and I would like to say a happy faces only so let's enjoy this life and you are in a safe and in the shelter thank you very much
थैंक यू सो मच मैम. सब लोग थोड़ा इंटरैक्टिव रहेंगे तो आपको भी मज़ा आएगा और जो स्पीकर्स हैं उनको भी मज़ा आएगा. जैसे मैम ने कहा कि स्माइलिंग फेसेस थ्रू आउट रखो. जिनके ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेशन रहेगी और जिसका ज़्यादा स्माइलिंग फेस रहेगा उसके लिए हैम्पर भी है. तो वैसा ही एनर्जी बनाए रखना प्लीज़. तो कौशल सर, हाँ शुरुआत हो गया आपके मीटर का. I would like to reintroduce Motherhood Foundation as they being our continuous sponsor. Motherhood is a women's and child care hospital. Motherhood believes in care with courtesy, compassion, and competence. Thank you so much, Twinkle ma'am, for coming and having us over. Our gifting partner, Caps Care. I would like Pratibha ma'am to please come on the dais. A round of applause. जब मैं किसी को वेलकम कर रही हूँ तो ताली बजनी चाहिए.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Pratibha Matwara, founder of Caps Care. एक छोटी सी शुरुआत, छोटी सी पहल कैप्स केयर 2015 से मैंने स्टार्ट किया, वो भी होममेड प्रोडक्ट और घर से. उसके हिसाब से मतलब कि हमने जब सोचा था थैंक यू कैप्स केयर एक आयुर्वेदिक प्रोडक्ट बनाने का एक हमने स्टार्ट किया कंपनी जिसमें हेयर केयर, स्किन केयर और पेन मैनेजमेंट का प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं. एक छोटी सी शुरुआत घर से हुई जिसमें मेरी डॉटर को ही हेयर फॉल का प्रॉब्लम हुआ. तब हमने सोचा था क्यों ना हम आयुर्वेद में जाएं और उससे उसका सॉल्यूशन लाएं. तो उसी हिसाब से उस कंपनी को हमने स्टार्ट किया जिसमें कि उसको सॉल्यूशन मिला और उस हिसाब से आज जब तब तक मैंने ये नहीं सोचा कि इसको मैं एक एज ए बिजनेस इसको स्टार्ट कर सकती हूँ. सिर्फ अपने ही घर के क्षेत्र तक ही उसको मैंने सोचा था. जब मार्केट में देखा कि काफ़ी सारी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम हर एक व्यक्ति को है तो क्यों ना इसको एक बिजनेस का रूप दिया जाए. सिर्फ एक ही प्रोडक्ट से मैंने अपना छोटा सा बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया. धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली सबको मतलब उससे फ़र्क भी पड़ने लगा. मेरा खुद का कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा. सबसे पहली बात तो मेरे लिए माइक मेरे सामने आया तो बोलने का कॉन्फिडेंस मैं अभी आज से कलेक्ट कर रही हूँ. आप सब उसमें मुझे मोटिवेट करना. धीरे धीरे मैंने एक प्रोडक्ट से दूसरे प्रोडक्ट को स्टार्ट किया. जैसे कि हम पहले अपने ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट करते किसी भी प्रोडक्ट को और उसको लॉन्च करने में लगभग 4 से 6 महीना लगाते. तो इस तरह से हमने एक एक प्रोडक्ट को डेवलप करके और उसको बनाया। तो हमारा जो क्लाइंट एरिया है तब तो कुछ भी नहीं, ज़ीरो था। धीरे धीरे उनको हमारे पर ट्रस्ट होने लगा, प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट हुआ, प्रोडक्ट का क्वालिटी मेंटेन किया और मार्केट एक्सपांड किया। तो उसके लिए मैंने जैसे कि हम एग्जीबिशंस वगैरह करते हैं और टीम वर्क को साथ में लेकर के, जिस तरह से जो भी हम हर्ब्स चूज़ करते हैं आयुर्वेदिक, वो अच्छी क्वालिटी की, जिससे क्या है कि जिसको भी फ़र्क पड़े वो रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड हो। उस हिसाब से धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली हेयर केयर प्रोडक्ट, फिर स्किन केयर और पेन मैनेजमेंट प्रोडक्ट। अब पेन मैनेजमेंट में इस तरह का है, जैसे कि हमारा एक पोटली है आयुर्वेदिक पद्धति से बनी हुई, तो उससे क्या किसी को भी अगर नी पेन, बैक पेन, मसल्स पेन, फ्रोजन शोल्डर, कफ, सर्दी, साइनस या माइग्रेन होता है, तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि कोई भी व्यक्ति आयुर्वेदिक पद्धति से अगर यूज़ करके प्रोडक्ट को और उससे सॉल्यूशन पा सकते हैं तो वो उनके लिए बेस्ट है। क्योंकि हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति में इतनी सारी हर्ब्स और इतने सारे घरेलू नुस्खे हैं जिससे हम अपने आप को क्योर कर सकते हैं किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को। तो वो ही एक मेन मोटो मेरा था कि आज कोई भी अगर किसी भी तरीके की समस्या से अगर है तो वो उनका सॉल्यूशन खुद अपने हाथों से घर बैठे भी कर सकते हैं। धीरे धीरे हमने अपना कंपनी को जिस तरह से एग्जीबिशंस किए, फिर हमने छोटी छोटी टीम बनाई कि हर एक एरिया वाइज सेगमेंट हमने स्टार्ट किया। हर एक एरिया में अलग अलग अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को सेट किया। और आज अहमदाबाद में जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया तब ज़ीरो क्लाइंट एरिया था, आज 4,500 कस्टमर बेस मेरा है और वो सब सेटिस्फाइड है कि इस प्रोडक्ट से कि उनको डेफिनेटली रिजल्ट मिलता है तो वो किसी और को रिकमेंड करते हैं। तो कंपनी को स्टार्ट करने के लिए जिस तरह से जो एक एक सीढ़ी चढ़ना चाहिए, उसी तरह से एथिक्स से कभी भी मतलब यूँ नहीं है कि आज हमने जो कमिट किया है उससे हट के हमने अगर प्रोडक्ट दिया, वो नहीं। तो इस तरह से क्लाइंट एरिया भी अच्छा हुआ और उन्हीं क्लाइंट एरिया से एक दूसरे के रिकमेंड करने से भी हमारे साथ जुड़ते गए और आगे हम बढ़ते गए। तो सबसे बेस्ट ये है कि हम जो भी प्रोडक्ट को लॉन्च करते हैं, पहला एक्सपेरिमेंट हमारे पर, फिर वो प्रोडक्ट बाहर जाती है। इस तरह से हमने एक प्रोडक्ट से अभी तक 9 प्रोडक्ट तक आ गए हैं। आगे भी ये सिलसिला जारी ही रहेगा कि हम आपको बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट प्रोवाइड कर सकें। उसके अलावा जिस तरह से हमने एरिया वाइज सारे सेगमेंट मतलब सेट कर दिए, तो उसके बाद में जो भी फंड आता है उसी को हम उसी में मतलब जिस तरह से जो अर्निंग होती है, कभी मैंने लोन वगैरह नहीं लिया अपने बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए। जो अर्निंग होती है वही हमारा फंड के रूप में काम करता है। तो उससे क्या, उसी को हम कंपनी का कोई भी रॉ मटेरियल लाना है या कुछ भी करना है तो धीरे धीरे वो सारा फंड उसी में हम डाइवर्ट करते हैं। तो इस तरह से आज जो घर से मैंने बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया वो आज मैंने उसको एक छोटा कंपनी का रूप दे दिया है, उसके लिए फैक्ट्री भी ले लिया है और जो मैमको में है बस उसके जो नॉर्म्स है, गवर्नमेंट नॉर्म्स वगैरह है, वो मैं क्लियर करके एथिक्स से हम आगे बढ़ेंगे टीम वर्क के साथ में। और आशा करती हूँ कि सबको मैं वो ही प्रोडक्ट दे सकूँ जो आज मैंने अपने घर के लिए बनाए। हाँ, दूसरा नाम कैप्स केयर। कैप्स केयर नाम कैसे पड़ा वो भी एक इंटरेस्टिंग है कि जब मुझे फॉर्म भरना था तो मैंने सोचा कि चलो कंपनी का नाम तुरंत आइडिया नहीं आया, बट मेरा पूरा फैमिली जिसमें मैं, मेरा हस्बैंड, दोनों बच्चे, सभी साथ में मिलके सारा वर्क करते हैं। सोशल मीडिया पूरा प्लेटफॉर्म मेरी डॉटर संभालती है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट में और मेरे हस्बैंड संभालते हैं और सारा मार्केटिंग है, मैनेजमेंट है, ये सारा हम मिलके ही करते हैं। तो कैप्स मीन्स हमारी फैमिली का सभी का फर्स्ट लेटर है। तो वो ही मैंने अपनी कंपनी का नाम दिया कि सभी घर से शुरुआत और सभी हमारे साथ मिलके काम करते हैं, तो वो एक टीम वर्क का घर से ही शुरुआत टीम वर्क की है। तो इस तरह से हमने अलग अलग एरिया में अलग अलग इस तरह से डिस्ट्रीब्यूटरशिप भी दे रखी है और धीरे धीरे उसको आज एक नई ऊंचाई तक लेके जाना है। थैंक यू।
I would request Neha ma'am and Leela sir to please felicitate ma'am, Pratibha ma'am. लीलाधर सर अपने चश्मे लगा के आ ही रहे बस। A round of applause. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Leela sir. Thank you, Nia ma'am. Uh, Ayushi, do we have Janvi among us? I would request Janvi to please come on the stage and talk a few words about Vibes of India. जानवी इज वेटिंग फॉर दीपल मैम, तो एक 2 मिनट्स तब तक हम कुछ और टाइम पास कर सकते हैं. इसके बाद एक फीडबैक भी लेने वाले हैं सबसे, ताकि अपना नेक्स्ट इवेंट ज़्यादा अच्छा रहे. तो जाते वक्त रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म जो था वहाँ पे एक फीडबैक लिख देना सब अपने नाम के सामने, ताकि हमें पता चले कि नेक्स्ट टाइम हमें किन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना है और क्या क्या चीज़ें कंसिडर करनी है. मैंने पहले सपोर्टेड बाय का नाम नहीं लिया था, तो मैं सपोर्टेड बाय का नाम ले लेती हूँ. This event is supported by PRSI Ahmedabad chapter, simulations, Setu PR, promotions redefined, and brand buzz. A round of applause for all the supported buys. Don't worry, आपका लंच ब्रेक का टाइम आगे नहीं जाएगा, तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन वाले फेसेस मत रखना.
Yeah, hello. So the annoying voice is back again. So, and yeah, I would like to introduce Vibes of India to all of you. So, Vibes of India is one of the sponsors, and they Vibes of India has are the media partner of Accendo. And as I've known, a lot of NIMCJ students have been working with Vibes of India. So, if there's anyone present here who has worked with Vibes of India, is there anyone? I mean, I can see faces. Yeah, yeah. Sakshi has worked with Vibes of India. There are a few other people as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they have worked with Vibes of India as well. Yes. Hi.
ये लोग सब शायद दीपल मैम को रिसीव करने गए हुए थे.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So as we all know, Vibes of India is a news media agency, and they are our media partners. And we have Miss Deepal Trivedi present here from Vibes of India, who will be sharing a few words of her.
एक्चुअली अजीज वाइब्स ऑफ इंडिया का इंट्रोडक्शन लिखना भूल गया है, इसलिए वो राउंड एंड राउंड उसी पॉइंट पे बोल रहा है. साक्षी मेहता, कैन यू प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस वाइब्स ऑफ इंडिया? प्लीज प्लीज डू. साक्षी मेहता एक एंकर है वाइब्स ऑफ इंडिया में, तो वो इतनी कर्टेसी रख के इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगी वाइब्स ऑफ इंडिया को. अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर साक्षी.
So first of all, hello everyone. I'm working with Vibes of India from like 4-5 months, and Vibes of India is really like my family. मैंने Vibes of India के साथ बहुत सारे ups and downs face किए, and Vibes of India shows the truth. Like what is the truth? Not like supporting anyone or showing what's not happening actually. Vibes of India is just showing the truth, and it's really like family. Deepal ma'am, Janvi ma'am, I worked with them, and they are really very good and really very supportive. Thank you so much.
वाइब्स ऑफ इंडिया का इंट्रोडक्शन. So we have Deepal ma'am among us. Please have a round of applause for Deepal ma'am. Deepal ma'am, I would request you to please come on the dais. And I would request Janvi to speak for 2 minutes regarding what Vibes of India actually does. A round of applause, please.
Very good afternoon to everyone. I'm Janvi Suraya, one of the team members of Vibes of India. We are a digital media portal in Hindi, English, and Gujarati. We are a very young, vibrant, experimental team who is here to speak only the truth.
Can I use this? Yeah.
Many of the students from NINCJ are also currently working with Vibes of India. Can I have a cheer for them? Who are working for Vibes? Yeah, so we have many of our brand ambassadors already sitting in the audience. So to speak something about Vibes of India, I mean, it is our passion project. It is our dream which started a year back. We are just 9 months old, but we are already a team of over 40 people. And yeah, we are trying to build an organization which is different in a way, which is non-hierarchical. We have very interesting HR policies like say 2 days of menstrual leaves. We have mental health leaves. There is paternity leaves, which is generally not provided by many organizations. And there is 50% reservation for women in the organization. So these are the kind of values and these are the kind of ethos on which Vibes of India is built upon. And yeah, I mean, be it podcasts or videos or written form, long form articles, these are all the things in which we write upon, these are all the things which we write upon. And Deepal Trivedi is the founder, editor, and CEO of Vibes of India. She comes with over 30 years of experience in the field of journalism. She is a journalism school in itself. I think whatever I have learned about media, about journalism is from her. Can you have please round of applause for her? She launched Antabat Winner. She has worked with Will Express. She has got several international fellowships, including Jefferson Shaving Fellowship. And currently, we have also got the fellowship by Meta, that is Facebook. And we are among the only Indian media group, only Indian startup that is chosen for journalism entrepreneurship program by Meta. So yeah, that's some of our achievements. And to speak about journalism and about how ethics and ideology are, included in journalism, I will invite Nidhi.
Right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ma'am, we would like to felicitate you first and start with the session.
Okay.
I request Ela ma'am to please come on the dais and felicitate Deepal ma'am.
You want her to stand here and speak or?
Anyhow, she's comfortable. Yeah. She can have the mic and sit there also, and she can stand here.
Need any other help?
Sorry?
Need any other help from
No, thank you. Yes. Also for the Vibes of India, please, Ela ma'am. Yes, ma'am. To Deepal ma'am. Yeah.
It's okay, God.
For Vibes of India.
From Vibes of India as
Yeah.
a partner, as a media
As
partner.
a digital media partner.
Okay, we are fine otherwise. Oh, thank you. Maybe time is like.
We are so sorry for the confusion. Ma'am, either you can sit or you can deliver from here. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends. It's nice to see such young faces, that also for a journalism class. I really appreciate that all of you have opted for journalism and have taken a conscious decision, right, to pursue journalism. unlike our times when we don't get કે ભાઈ MBA માં નથી મળતું, નોકરી નથી મળતી, શું કરું તો કે ભાઈ જર્નલિસ્ટ બની જાઓ. But now things are getting really professional, and it's a matter of pride that Ahmedabad has such an organization which gives you quite a bit, a handful of facilities. Because as I know, there are studios and podcast studios, and our girls and boys both, from this institute, they have been doing superbly well. So it must be in the institution that they are taught well, the basics are clear, and most important, they instill a confidence in you to face the world. In whichever career or profession you are, it is this confidence that matters. So now, I have been given a very, I would say, controversial issue on truth and ethical dilemma. But for the sake of students, I thought I should be absolutely realistic and clear rather than. Does everyone understand English, or you want me to speak in Gujarati? Huh? Okay. Because my Hindi is all from Bollywood, that's it. Yeah, so I thought I should be absolutely realistic of the scenario, however crude it sounds to you, and however disappointing it sounds to you. Somehow the other day, the disappointment is going to come in, right? Better it comes in early and you know what you are getting into, right? Okay. So, truth and ethical dilemma. I have an interesting subject. So, first, I would like to touch into what is journalism basically. We will please take down your notes. So, we'll have a very healthy and a very typical argumentative Indian sort of question answer session soon after this to clear all your doubts. My topic is ethical truth and ethical dilemma. How does he, a budding journalist, adjust into an ideological, what is it called, ideological uh, inclined organization? I think that journalism is very different for budding journalists, senior journalists, and editors. There are absolutely different categories. So, any of you for the next 2 years are not going to face this dilemma. Right? It is a fear that is instilled in you. I don't know by whom. I've been in the profession for over 30 years, and it was only after the first 7 or 8 years that I had to face an ethical dilemma. So, there's still time for you, right? But at the same time, we have to admit that there are ethically unethical, ideologically inclined organization, and the number is rapidly rising. It's not just that this is just happening in India. I think the origin of this was in the UK, right? When Catholicism, Christianity, like the Roman Catholics were up against the church. So it started with then. Even when there was no printing press, we used to get a news from what? The travelers, the sailors. They came and told us their side of story. Right? We don't know whether it was neutral. But it's only after the printing press came in that these inclinations could be documented and it became more clearer. And as it always happens, America was again a pioneer. The term yellow journalism was coined in America. But interestingly, it was not for any religious ideology or for any commercial purpose. Yellow journalism was, about three newspapers supporting three different sports teams. So the Post would just write good about one team, the New York Giants. Someone else would write something good about the California Cows, whatever. So it was more about sports. Later, see, journalism initially was what? To disseminate the truth. It then became a forum to disseminate truth with your own perspective. I think that's when the problem begins. So, if we talk of ideologically slanted organizations, there have been the political parties like Shiv Sena has its own publication, or the RSS has, the Congress also has, which I have not seen being published in last couple of years. The BJP has, but these were not mainstream journalism. These were all mouthpieces of a particular party or an outfit. Even a trade union would have their own newsletter. Or, for example, now if you take big corporate companies, Adani's, Idus, Reliance, all of them have their magazines for internal communication, and they are always inclined towards the organization, right? I can't be working in Reliance and say how shitty your son is, he has no business sense. I would be sacked the next hour, I believe. So this has always been there. I have a presentation which is pretty long. I would come to the point that for you budding journalists, as I see it, what is most important? It is reporting what you see. It is not reporting what you think is right. You just have to report as you see. Earlier, when I was in a journalism school, we were taught that you report, you don't opine. Keep your, however intelligent opinion you have about an incident, keep it to yourself. Because, see, when a child is born, can you expect a baby, a 1-year-old baby to fly an airplane? Right? You have to groom that child. It first comes the charpaida wadi cycle, then the two-wheeled cycle. It is a gradual process. It's like baking a cake. You have to give it time. If you bake a cake and put it in the microwave, and then in the oven, and then after every 2 minutes you go and check and put the knife. Okay, हो गई केक? वो केक कभी नहीं होगी. Similarly, budding journalists also have to be groomed, and they have a time to understand, to imbibe basic journalistic values. This early journal, I don't know how many of you support the bulldozer journalism, right? I would not. Because when you mix your views with the news that is actually happening, it's a very dangerous cocktail. It's worse than drugs. It could take your life. You don't know how it starts, but initially it starts eating you up. This is when burnout happens. This is when stress happens. You may have heard of incidents, right, of very young journalists dying of heart attacks. It's because of this ethical dilemmas. So you have the advantage to imbibe, inculcate, and execute true values of journalism. So please do that. Now, should we blame journalists for an ideological slant? I would say no. I would blame the editors. She is an editor, Janvi. I would blame the editors. I would blame the owners, right? I would blame the commercialization and the corporatization of journalism. Before we got independence, we were all determined that what is our agenda to get independence, right? There could be differences in opinion. In Gujarati, it's very beautifully put, okay? તમારે મતભેદ હોઈ શકે પણ મનભેદ ના હોય. That the ultimate goal is to pursue upright practices of journalism. But as corporatization took over, for example, if we take, I would blame the commercial aspects of it more than religious or any other things. Now, if tomorrow Patanjali starts giving vibes of India, I'm being absolutely honest, 5 crore worth of advertisements, you think we would really write about Ramdev? Why? Because we are a very small organization. Such things. I've been an editor at Mirror and Times of India. Or even when I went to New York Times in 2004, on the New York Times edit page, I saw the name of Shell. This was during the Iraq War, 2004, when America had sent its troops to Iraq. I saw them mentioning Shell in their edit piece, at least, once every 2 months. And later on, I came to know that it was a part of an arrangement. Arrangement means a fiscal arrangement. So there could be political pressure, there could be commercial considerations, but all of this has begun after the corporatization of media. Now, the pertinent question that you would want to ask is about ideological slant with a religion that you often see now. The gross difference between NDTV and Aaj Tak, the gross difference between The Wire and Op India. See, these are ideologies which, as youngsters, I should advise you, are very dangerous. They're all politically driven, and whatever the ideology is, it's dangerous for the social fabric of our country. So what does it mean? How do you work in a news organization? Most organizations are sensible enough to give a particular kind of work to freshers, and then, after maybe 2 years, find out more about themselves. We have a friend who works with Republic. She's a very good friend of us, because the biggest mistake any youngster can do, which we the adults have often done and regretted, is to mix your private and professional life. Keep it very separately compartmentalized. It helps. So Next point. Everyone, condoles and everyone says, oh, we feel very sorry for journalists and all. But believe me, journalism is very exciting, it's very beautiful. People who have been associated with our organization, you can ask them if we have ever told them to follow any particular agenda. Anyone can do anything. There's one lady who is completely saffronized. We let her be. Interestingly, there is a guy who is completely carried away by Ovaisi. He's a Hindu. We let him be. Because, what I personally believe, we are just 9 months old, but we have 1.6 million followers. Why? Because we encourage talents and we believe in sheer teamwork. So a talent could win a game, but teams would win championships. That is why, was it 4 days back that I had a one-to-one with Mark Zuckerberg, right? And he completely has, it's called the Entrepreneurs Create ECJ, Entrepreneurial Creators Journalism Program. You can Google it up. So this year we are the only Indian startup to be picked up as an exemplary, innovative example of balanced journalism, and completely sponsored for New York, along with 6 business class tickets, for New York. Yeah, of course, only I get to go. It's on my name. So don't worry much at this stage. And if your boss tries to put in, okay, take this line, that's the word that is used. Kaje ama kai line lewana tame. Get out of this line business. Your job is to see something, to report it in its own righteousness with all your earnest efforts. Read. Don't let others impose their ideology or their slant on you. We these days we have started believing in slow journalism. That is, we don't really hanker after breaking news, because if someone wants to see breaking news, there's so many medium. So we do really well researched stories, and half the day goes in arguing about it. But we really encourage that. Okay, so I talked about there's something about how the first it was called Avices, the first newspapers which were handwritten were discovered in Italy. So we can't say this ideologically slant organization are a very new phenomena, because even in the 13th century they had all these handwritten notes where you just had to praise the king, whether it was Italy, whether it was India, wherever. But the first perfect use of mass media was done by America to gain independence. That's why America is the oldest democracy. Even India used, even Mahatma Gandhi used it for the freedom of India. It's so, and there was a slant. It was an anti-Brit slant, right? Which means that we had an ideological inclination. And ideological, like, I'm not going to say which newspaper owner told me, but I was working as an editor at a senior position where my boss, the owner, told me that, look, we are not interested in any ideology and we are not even interested in news. News is a space used to fill up, the space between two advertisements. You need something, so just put news there. It was very heartbreaking. But this is reality. There are so many newspapers which go color only the day they get color advertisements. That page is color, otherwise it's a black and white page. So there are more commercial dictates than any ideological dictates. So how should budding fresh journalists adjust in this journalistic climate? As I said, it doesn't really matter, to be very honest, at the start of your career. And I believe in your intrinsic smartness. You are street smart enough, right? Even if you're not well read, you're smart enough. You already have an ideology in mind. Whether you want to bury it or whether you want to let it grow, you are adult enough to take that decision. Right? If I'm supporting OVC, my first choice of job would be at a newspaper called Gujarat Today, which really promotes their Muslims. So I said this ideological slant exposure comes not before 2 years. And Indian political power and ideology is always tied to geography. So if you don't believe in certain ideology, you can always move states. Right? If you really like Aam Aadmi Party, you can go to Punjab. It's going to be heaven for you. But all this happens after a while. Now what happens is, new digital startups are not supported by big money bags. So we have the freedom to function independently and slightly recklessly. Every newspaper or every television channel you see, there would be a board on the laptop calling Parul University. Right? Day before yesterday, we did a story. Day before, right? Janvi did a story. It took her about 6 to 8 months of research. We found that the university had opened up bogus accounts of students as directors and trustees. The students had submitted their forms during admission, their Aadhaar card and all important private confidential documentation with the college misused. And we got receipts of 178 such students. Right? It took a lot of patience to verify 178 students, then to reach to the income tax, and then ensure that we are not cowed down by pressure from Parul University. Because we were very clear that we don't want to sell our soul for a couple of lakh of rupees. So that's, as I say, digital medium, and digital is the future. How many of you read the newspaper actually? Can raise hands. Yes. Wow. Which newspaper do you read? Very good choice. You? Excellent. But see, okay. You all read good newspapers, I would say. But the majority is for digital. And digital, if you look at Medium, if you look at any other, digital medium, they are very ferociously dependent. My last point. Listen to your conscience. A true journalist is one who can smell news and then describe it aptly. Anti-establishment journalism gives you a real kick. Believe me. Because The essence of journalism is to pursue the truth, to hold people in power to this truth, this magnifying glass of accountability. We need to question our policymakers, the different roads and bridges that are constructed to benefit certain industrialists without consulting the majority of people who live on either sides of the road. આપણા કેટલા બધાના લોકોના ઘર કપાતમાં ગયા છે without us being given an explanation, right? It's a journalist's job to find out why. You grab the chance whenever you get to bring out the truth, because real journalism, according to me, is something that is not going to make everyone happy. If what you write, what you produce, or what you podcast is going to make everyone happy, it is not journalism, it's public relations. Right? Okay, so we will be taking questions. The part 2 of how much time we have? 10 minutes? Huh? 20 minutes. Okay, then I would even end. I would put on some more points. Your invitation card said, how does he balance truth and agenda setting? I see majority of girls here. Right? So, if you want to set an agenda for equality, we women owe half the sky. But why aren't we allowed to fly the way we want? A lot of you would join journalism. But after a few years, you will see our breed vanishing, getting married, having kids. You know, at the top, it's difficult to be a woman. So you can take lots of positive agendas as journalists, even the young men here. You know, your sisters, wives, moms. Start with that. Have a positive agenda to have a better environment, positive agenda for safety of women, safety of kids. You know, there are lovely government policies. Helmet is compulsory. How many of you wear helmets? Oh, the majority it looks. So, there could be a lot of agenda, positive agenda. Stop being judgmental. Work for better things in life that will give you pleasure. For example, we are all very excited now to celebrate the book day. See, all such things ensure that you don't have an early burnout. Right? We start our shift at 6 a.m. in the morning. Anybody can be put on a 6 a.m. shift. It's a scary proposition. Is Anjali on a 6 a.m. shift? 7. Okay. So, but then there has to be fun when you work, right? You have to have the right to pick up your story ideas. We are there to guide you. We are not there to mouth feed you. So, even if you go for an ideologically slanted organization, don't get mouth fed. Pick up your own bite. You will never be unhappy. Thank you very much for listening to me. And now we can take some questions. I'll sit down for the question answer series.
Yes, ma'am. Just the technical issue there.
Okay.
हाँ. नहीं दूसरा मैम के पास.
I would love to listen to your beautiful name before you ask the question.
Hi, I'm Amardeep.
You are?
So, Amardeep.
Amardeep.
Yeah. So, when if you talk about ideology and views, then isn't this is true or like this is the correct way to raise the voice of that particular ideology? You said about the Muslim ideology. Right? So that is minority in our country. So if some news channel is accepting that ideology, then you are free to promote your own. So any comments?
Very good question. I was waiting for this. Can you hear me without a mic? Yeah. Okay. Very good question. And we have, they can't hear. Okay. Where's the red one? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Amadi. That's an interesting question. I deliberately gave an example of a minority. The majority is all over. Right? So see, if I, as an individual or as a founder, if I have to look at it, I would give minorities also a room, but at the same time, the majority gets what the share they deserve, which is based on their numbers. If I allow someone to keep a beard because he's a Muslim, I also allow someone who is a Swaminarayan to do a big tilak. In fact, our office, we have, I don't know, I mean, we have 40 of us right now. Out of 40, we have how many Muslims? One, six Muslims. We have 6 Muslims. The rest are the majority, right? The Muslims get to, right now I think there's Ramzan going on. So they get a chance, and these were all young people who wanted to throw an iftar party for them. But at the same time, when it's Holi, when it's Diwali, we are very equal. So there could be newspapers which would not allow certain things. Amardeep, right? But I would not, like for example, Times of India, or even the current government has dual standards when it comes to eating meat, right? Why should Kerala and people in Kerala be allowed to eat beef? If I would be the BJP with an authority, I would impose a central prohibition, right? Why is it that you cannot smoke, you cannot drink in Gujarat? As you grow, you will realize that Gujarat prohibition is just for cosmetic value. So, Amardeep, I hope I gave you an answer. That all these have cosmetic values, and we really don't know what's going inside. Like just because I'm a Jain, is it morally right for me to allow only Jain food in the office? Tell me. I fast. I just finished my fast. I was fasting 9 days for Navratri. I'm a very practicing Hindu. But those 9 days, can I just say that nobody can eat pizza in this office? I think my staff will come and kill me. Any other question? Come on. No question is a bad question.
If anyone has any questions about journalism or ethics of journalism or anything that's been going on around our country, if anyone has something to say to us,
Yeah, I believe this is a very close forum, right?
we have the expert present here. So, yeah.
पूछो questions, Hindi, Gujarati, English.
I think NMCG can do better. Can we have some questions from someone?
Yes, please. Yes, that's nice. More questions.
Hi, ma'am. Like right now, you just said that you allow people to follow their religion in your office or whatever. So my question is like, in a country like India, do we really need to have to get a permission to follow like whatever wherever we go? Like it's not a specific about following your religion in office or like you said that you allow people.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the name.
Disha.
Yeah, Disha, nice question.
Like, no, my question is like, we don't need permission to follow any kind of religion we want. So, we don't need companies, any company to allow us to follow our religion as well.
That's where you are wrong, minus the class. Because every organization would have a contractual binding which tells you. For example, if I work in Times of India and if I'm a reporter, I cannot have a Swaminarayan Tikka. I was a crime reporter. I cannot have a Swaminarayan Tikka and then go to the Dariyapur to report. Number one. Right? I cannot wear a Muslim attire of that Pathani and have a long beard and come to work. There is something called a formal office wear culture.
No, yeah, I totally agree whatever you were saying, but I was like, ma'am, you said that my question is, we really need to have a permission to follow our religion.
Because religion is something private. You can't wear it on your head or on your sleeve. Religion and professionalism, I feel, are two different things. Today, if I'm going to Disha, if I'm going to send you to cover a woman who's just asked for triple talaq, I can't send you wearing shorts to Behrampur area. That would be against the office work culture. You just cannot do it. Today, Boris Johnson is in town. In the morning, I had to go, so the invitation card said Indian traditional dress.
मैम लेकिन हम ये नहीं बोल रहे हैं कि हम क्या पहन के आए क्या ना पहन के आए डिस्कशन इज नॉट अबाउट व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू वेयर वी आर आस्किंग दैट वी डोंट नीड परमिशन टू फॉलो आवर रिलीजन मैं किस रिलीजन में मानती हूँ वो मेरा फेथ है तो कौन मुझे परमिशन दे मैं आपको टीका लगा के नहीं जाऊंगी वो तो मुझे भी पता है
ये जो टीका लगाने वाले हैं उनके लिए ये बात है ये ऑफिस में जो किसी को धोती पहन के आना है रोज चोटी रखनी है तो मुझे उसको बोलना पड़ेगा किसी को पूरा पठानी पहन के इतनी बियर्ड रखनी है तो मुझे बोलना पड़ेगा कि भैया keep your religion at home. Don't wear it publicly. It is for people and there are many who do it. There are many who do it. Okay? But if I allow someone to do Ramzan or keep a small beard, I cannot stop someone who does a tikka. I have to be fair to everyone. At the same time, like if Janvi goes to Gandhinagar to meet the chief secretary, she has to dress in certain ways. We in our office, we just don't mind. People can walk in their shorts or they can
do whatever they want. But when they have to go out reporting, there is a certain office decorum. And we don't encourage people wearing religion on their sleeve when they go out reporting. We are fine if they are just going to do office job. Right? I have a Jain guy who was insisting that he would wear his, because some puja, so every day he would want to wear dhoti. Now, can I send him to give me an area, like, to celebrate Easter? He has to remove the dhoti in his office and wear pants and go. On the reporting field, we don't allow. Which you may agree, you may not agree. Yes.
Hello, ma'am. I am Anjali. So my question is, as you are there in the Voice of India, you have your own political opinion.
Vibes of India.
Yes, Vibes of India. You have your own political opinion, and there are 40 others working with you. They have their own political opinion. So how do you deal with your news when there is a ideological clash?
Okay. I have been a political journalist for 31 years of my life. So obviously, I would have a political ideology, political stance. That is the reason that when I launched my own startup, I just remained the founder. I didn't become an editor. I don't deal with any reporters directly. Everyone is free to write whatever they want. We have a communist, we have a socialist, because we believe that everyone is unique, and it is like if Janvi has talent, she can win a game. But if I've got a good team, we have started bringing in championships. So diversity matters. I don't influence at all. I'm not a part of. I have removed myself very consciously and very. It was a difficult decision because sometimes I feel excited. But my office and their office, there's distance also, and they don't. They are not supposed to ask me. They're supposed to ask. There are 3 editors. They are supposed to consult them.
So does your news have mixed opinions?
Yes, absolutely. If in fact there are debates. We recently had a debate where we had all representatives, right? All party representatives. And everybody, whoever believes in BJP, there are people who write in favor of BJP. I just tweet. I don't report. So I tweeted, yesterday I tweeted about Modi's picture of you like it or you not like it, but how people are so glad and he makes a direct connect with the masses, which we haven't seen in political history of India since decades. So I wrote that. So there were comments, all that sort of, but that's a part of life, right? We may come up with a very good, strong, we have done very good stories on ARM. But now we are all set. We've got a good scoop about ARM.
So has your own personal political opinion ever overshadowed your newspaper or any of the editors' own opinion?
Not really. No.
Like let's say I'm working at your place and I have a totally opposite opinion than the editor. So how will that go? Will I be still able to give my news, deliver my news?
Yes, very much. Very much. And we just don't have one, we have 3 editors. Right? Out of these 3 editors, one is a hardcore communist. Right? So he likes everything. There's one who is a BJP punk. And the other one is, Janvi is just not interested in politics. कुछ भी चलता है जाने So it works fine. It works fine. I don't know who all have worked with us. Anjali, then I can see Sakshi. Who else? I don't know. Tamne, like you should share your experiences. If anybody has ever told you, huh? Yes. We work like we just want to create beautiful journalism, right? If someone is passionate about dogs, they can write on dogs. If someone is passionate about Bollywood, they can write about that.
Uh, Hi, my name is Ansh.
Your name is
Ansh.
Ansh.
I want to talk about that Karnataka hijab case. I agree with that uniform code, but I want to ask that Sikh is permitted to wear that turbans, Foreigners is permitted to do that tikar in school. Then why not hijab?
Good question. That's more of a political decision than I would say the university's decision. And at a you want to know my personal views on
No,
this?
no, I am telling that it is wrong. No, that Supreme Court has told that school should maintain equality and integrity, but it isn't. So yeah, your personal views also.
My personal views are very clear on this. That hijab should not be allowed. Why?
Why? Yes.
Because I believe I went to a school where they would not let me put a bindi. Right? If it is secularism means having a fair and equal, opinion about every religion. I would not allow that school, the university, which has prohibited hijab. They have also prohibited guys with those 3 tilaks that they do in South India, the girls. For some, hijab could be a layer of protection. But no, schools are places of worship where, at that tender age, to mix religion with education is a terrible idea.
Exactly, but Sikhs do wear that turban. Even Swaminarayan's do that tikar.
The Swaminarayans are not allowed to do tikas. I have seen a lot of Swaminarayan students in my school. There could be other schools. The school I went to, I'm talking of. And if they're allowed, they should not be allowed. Uniform means in the army, does anyone, now women also are employed in the army. Are they allowed to wear hijab? Why should they be allowed in schools and universities?
Exactly, I agree with that uniform code, but there is not equality all religion. When Sikhs wear turban and some follow that religion in school also.
I agree.
Some students.
I agree.
That should ban also.
That should be. That should be gradually. Gradually, if you see, a lot of young Sikhs, they're getting off turbans. A lot of young Sikhs. The change has to begin from the youth. We are too conditioned. We are too seasoned. Right? But hijab should not be allowed. I maintain that position. I would not let a woman wear hijab and come to work. If she wants to come, she has to sit in the office. She can't go to Swaminarayan Mandir temple and report. Sorry. Because for me, secularism means equality. And same rule for everyone.
One last question for today.
My name is Gagan. At the time of demonetization, Z News showed that earlier chipped in 2000 note. Such a credible news channel showing this thing. Okay, Accendo. So I want your comments on it.
Credibility is a very misplaced concept. Why just the same person who showed a chip was yesterday evening riding on a bulldozer, right? And when one person say कि इधर हम हिंदू मुस्लिम हम साथ में मिलके रहते हैं, she told the driver, चलो चलो इधर से बताओ ये सही जगह नहीं है. And she was recorded. So credibility and the size of organization are two different things. But your question has a deeper nuance to it. That deeper nuance is that these channels are very smart. They keep different sorts of people. You know, you will have a Rahul Kanwal who will be speaking completely on BJP side, or Om Anjanam Kashyap, right? And then you will have Rajit Sarkar's side to balance it out. So it's all about money, basically. Because we are a country of majority, so I would like my religion to be amplified in this politically heated times. So, you know, there could be 4 BJP propagating journalists, and there could be 1 or 2 who speak the complete opposite, but they coexist. And they coexist beautifully because it's a commercial model. Right? I hope I answered your question. Thank you. That's it for the day.
We had a few fingers raised.
All of us can agree to disagree. Right? Gujarati में भी पूछो. चालसे.
हेलो, हम जर्नलिज्म में फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन की बात करते हैं.
आपका नाम?
यस.
यस.
तो जर्नलिस्ट के लिए फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन होता है कि नहीं?
बढ़िया सवाल किया.
तो मुझे छोटी रखनी है, तो मुझे किससे पूछना पड़ेगा कि नहीं रखनी?
आप जरूर चोटी रखे, चोटला रखे. उससे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. बट अगर आपको मैं क्राइम रिपोर्टिंग दूं और आपको what is it called, zone 1 or zone 2? Zone 1 has, there are certain police station which has 27% Muslim population. अभी वो जोन में मैं आपको आपकी चोटी के साथ नहीं भेज सकती हूँ, क्योंकि कोई औरत होगी जिन पर किसी ने रेप किया होगा, वो आपसे बात करने के लिए कंफर्टेबल नहीं रहेगी जो उनका विक्टिम आपकी कम्युनिटी से बिलोंग करता. So for journalists, see, why do, let me tell you, in the past आपने देखा होगा पुरानी मूवीज या ब्रिटिश मूवीज में कि जजेस वो बहुत फनी सी गोल्डन विग पहनते थे. क्यों पहनते थे वो? Tell me, can someone tell me? ताकि वो कौन है पहचान ना सके. You know, when a culprit comes or when a plaintiff comes, law has to be equal. So if someone knows तो भाई उसका जमाई कौन है और उसकी बेटी कौन है, वो कनेक्शन तक ना पहुंच पाए. इसीलिए अभी if I go to a place tomorrow, if I'm going to Hazarigam, I think I'll be foolish if I'll wear a bindi and the typical dress I do every day. I should wear a simple salwar kameez and go. If I'm going to a typical Muslim area, or if I'm going to a typical Adivasi area. You know, these Adivasis are also, majority of them now believe they are Hindus. But if I go to an Adivasi area, you think it is logical for me, I'm talking about displacement of Adivasis in Chhattisgarh. कांग्रेस का रूल है, बहुत सारे आदिवासी डिस्प्लेस हो गए, राइट? मैं अगर उनको मिलने जाऊंगी, if I'm going to go all decked out, does it suit me as a journalist? There's something called body language, right? We are raising these questions here, Once we will go abroad, we are so fine with all the rules. We are absolutely fine with all the rules. If I go to France, in a university, my favorite author happens to be from France. So I was doing my MPhil with a French guy. The university did not allow hijab. The university did not allow me. They said, here, you come to a university, just be yourself. Come as a human being and gain knowledge. Practice your religion elsewhere. I think that's a very good concept. Isn't it? I'm just not talking about hijab. Could be any religion. Just because it's a Parsi, they can't walk in their striped with langas and go and meet the Prime Minister of London. They have to be. Have you ever seen Tata wearing a lehenga and going and meet him?
Sorry, we are very short on time. We are very short on time. Okay.
पॉलिटिकल पार्टी और जर्नलिस्ट में क्या फर्क होता है? हम भी जातीय समीकरण बिठा कर ही मुस्लिम को मुस्लिम के एरिया में भेजेंगे, हिंदू को हिंदू के एरिया में भेजेंगे, तो फिर हम जातीय कौम को सोशल ऑक्सीजन भी बिठा पाएंगे.
Okay, I didn't find this a very intelligent question because it is only if you adopt that particular. अभी कोई journalist, I have a friend who believes in what Pushti Marg, right? He's a sadhu. He's done his journalism, and he's going to be the next heir of Vaishnava religion, right? Now, this question, जब हिंदू को हिंदू जगह पर भेजेंगे, it is only meant for people who want to wear religion on their sleeve. Otherwise, whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Adivasi, displaced, minority, Parsi, Jain, it doesn't matter at all. In fact, in our organization, we don't even, in our HR, when they apply for jobs, we don't look at gender, we don't look at religion. So you can just apply. It's only when the third process comes of a Zoom interview. We know that she's a girl, and then she will come to the office. And if she wants to discuss her religion, she can. We had a very good Dalit, right? Working with us. I wouldn't want to name him, but he cleared his civil services. So did we ever talk about him being a Dalit? He was a Dalit and he believed in RSS, which we later came to know. He had this tattoo. I'm talking of, who. But it's so brilliant, so brilliant. And history math, civil services clear karni from a Dalit family. It's not easy, right? You may disagree with me, it's fine. But these are my views.
I would like to add that our religion is not what we should worship. We should worship the work we are doing. So
that's very sensible, and that's what most people do. I have to appreciate and a big round of applause for all of you. You guys are very professional. You guys are very professional and keep this professionalism on. Right? Don't get misused by anyone, whether it is at work, whether it is at anywhere. Misuse can be for commercial purpose, for religious purpose, even this thing of people luring you in the name of love. Don't get into these things. As an organization, I'm very clear. I always cite women. Because, as I say, we owe half the sky and we have not been given enough rights. So we are a very woman-friendly organization. Yes, Sakshi? There are girls, who hang around much later till the guys are gone. And there is, it's no difference. The men are equally happy because they get an opportunity to work. And we don't encourage office romances. We are very clear about that. That's a policy, okay? Some may like it, some may not like it. But I don't want that today you have an affair and you become your girlfriend's boss and then allow all her dirty journalism or shitty journalism to go ahead. So one person has to quit if they are in a relationship. And they understand. We are still a very new struggling organization. But if you also have any ideas, you can always pass it on. We would love to incorporate them. Okay, thank you very much. And the questions were really nice. Yash? And good questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Deepal ma'am for being here and being present with us. A huge round of applause for Deepal ma'am. Yes, so the next thing. Next up, post lunch, we'll have a third session of creativity and conflict. That is a lecture of creative writing. Mrs. Nehal Bakshi would be taking that session. Before that session, we'll have lunch break. So, as we have consumed so many precious words, it's time to consume food. So, we have lunch break for 1 hour. I request everyone to be back by 1:30 p.m. We'll start the next session by 1:30 p.m. Please keep in mind. Thank you so much.